If I bring AJ back with me, will you teach him too?
You bet. He belongs with you, Clementine. Bring him back.
Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel here today, and we're back from The Walking Dead Season 4 theory. And about a month ago, I had a video talking about the confirmation that we were going to get an answer to what happened at Richmond / maybe the fate of the Garcia family. And now, since theories are back into play, now I'm going to make a prediction of what I believe happened to Richmond / the Garcia family. Since, again, in that AMA, I showed at the beginning of the video that little picture, we are getting a reason why Clementine didn't go back to Richmond. I think the fate of the Garcia family will be intertwined with this. So if you guys enjoy this video, please make sure you smack a like, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Let's go for 1,000 likes, guys. And make sure to leave down below in the comments what you believe personally happened to Richmond / the Garcia family. And I'm going to be talking about all that in this video, and hopefully we get this answer in episode 3, since again, it looks like the Lee flashback route's going to happen. So it might just be a audio dialogue, could be visual, we'll see. But let's get straight into it. In my opinion, this is probably one of the biggest mysteries I think that this final season has not given us an answer to yet, because it kind of is important that we get an answer to this to make Season 3 at least a little more worthwhile. Because, no offense, right now Season 3 is looking like one of the most worthless seasons that they've ever thrown in, with especially the lack of references and callbacks and returning characters and all that in general. So, remember this comment that I showed last month in the AMA? They talked about, will the Garcia families be returning? And again, no, they are not returning physically. Clementine will not run to them. Clementine will say, hey Javier, no, that's not happening. There will be references. Maybe, I'm assuming there will be references, as he says here. And he says, we have a reason why Clem does not go back to Richmond. Remember, because Clementine talked about going back to Richmond to play baseball with AJ, potentially, and you as the player could decide if you wanted to do that or not. So I am very curious to see what is this reason that Clementine did not go back to Richmond, and is this intertwined with the Garcia's fate? And then why are we not going to get to see them physically? Are they even alive? Oh, we're going to talk about Richmond first and what I think is in store for it in this explanation we're going to be getting. So, let me give a little explanation. Richmond was the community in Season 3, A New Frontier, that was taken over by A New Frontier, and Javier and Kate, remember, Kate brought a bunch of walkers in, they ended up getting all the walkers out. A New Frontier left. The variants of determinately Joan / Clint and the rest of New Frontier got kicked out. They left, abandoned, and originally we were supposed to get an answer to this a lot sooner, as Season 4 was supposed to be having a return of the Garcia family, and we were supposed to get a return potentially Joan and Clint, and our choice is Javier, whether to take over at Richmond as the leader or, not step up, would have been very important. But as we learned that the final season got scrapped and a lot of things got changed, we learned that, the Garcia family wasn't going to be returning, Joan and Clint probably weren't going to be returning. The answer of, maybe getting to see what happened at Richmond visually wasn't going to happen. And now it's coming down to the point where we're going to probably be getting, in my opinion, a dialogue option / options, not determinately. It's probably going to happen no matter what. We're going to get options of why Clementine didn't return to Richmond. And will this be connected with what happened at the ranch? And I talked about the ranch a couple days ago. Remember, Clementine, the only reason she left Richmond was to go find AJ. And for some reason, Clementine just had that reason why she didn't want to go back. So, first reason being Richmond has fallen. That it got taken over / infested with walkers. Everyone died. And here's a couple possibilities with this. There's actually a couple subdivisions I could put this theory under. They got taken over again by A New Frontier. they got taken over again by some other group. Maybe the Delta, Lily's group. Could that be a possibility? Some comic book group? Those are 3 possibilities right there. Could have there been another walker infestation and Javier / the others could not get everyone out in time and they all died? Or was it that another group, similar to how New Frontier took over, went into Richmond and took it over? All those are possibilities. I think this one is likely, but in my opinion, this is not the one I would say. I don't think Richmond has fallen. I personally believe there's going to be the second one, being that Richmond was in flames. Clementine ended up going back to Richmond, and she finds it burned, gone, destroyed, which would have been a very, very shocking thing to Clementine, and maybe something she doesn't want to talk about it. Maybe the fact is the same people who attacked the ranch, potentially if the ranch did get attacked, which we'll probably find out, attacked Richmond. And Clementine just in shock cannot believe it. I personally do think maybe there's a chance that Clementine could have left the ranch when it was safe, gone back to Richmond, found that in flames, then gone back to the ranch and found that both the ranch and Richmond been attacked by the same group. And instead of just, there being another group taking over or an infection, that both have just been engulfed in flames and destroyed. That would be something damn if the same group did it, and what if it was the dang Delta? Woo! Wow. That would be crazy. Crazy. The 3 things I mentioned, fire, taken over, or infection, I'm going to go with the being burned down. That's probably my guess. Now with the Garcia family, I'm going to be discussing what I believe happened to them. Now, since they are not seeable, we're not going to be seeing them physically in the final season, that gives me an inclination that something bad probably happened. We have the potentiality, hell, Kate, Gabe, David, all determinant characters. Kate could be missing in one of the endings as well. So it opens up a lot of things. Gabe can survive in 3 endings, David can survive in 1, I think Kate is alive in 2, if I'm not mistaken. And that's a big point of emphasis that, especially with them all being determinate, other than maybe Javier, proper conclusion to their story. Because we know Telltale's not around anymore, so if Skybound Games ever wanted to take over completely after the final season ends, they could, if the Garcia family is alive, Javier and them, they could do another story with them, a DLC. It's possible. And when The Walking Dead final season ends, we will talk about the potentiality of DLC, because they did not rule that out as a option. So I would not say, if they don't bring the Garcias back and they're alive, I wouldn't say that we have not seen the last of them yet. We may see them in a DLC, we could see them in another game. But it's obviously up to you guys when, they finish up the final season. They're going to be probably asking for suggestions about what, if they want to do another Walking Dead story, what should they do? I would love to see a continuation of the Garcia's story with a little more, like how the final season is, because I thought season 3 was just bad. It wasn't what I wanted. And I think they can, if they see how they did with the final season, they can do that. I think the story will be a lot better. But that's a possibility if the Garcia family is not dead. Now, personally, I do think all the determinant Garcias are probably gone. Javier may be alive, but it makes sense, though, if they're not going to be in the final season, they could be dead. That's a big, big possibility. Or they're missing, or they just left, or we'll find out soon enough, guys. But I hope to see Javier at least, because, yeah, David's only alive in 1 ending, Gabe, 3 endings, Kate, 2, missing in 1, dead in the other. So, there's a lot of possibilities of things to go down, but it's if really the Telltale care enough about the Garcia family to give them either a proper conclusion or keep their story wide open to be finished in another game, potentially. I personally do think Javier's alive, but I think the others are dead. Javier, I think he might be missing. Hopefully, we don't find out Clementine says, I went back to Richmond, I found them all dead. Oh, that would just, I'd be so angry. And maybe they are the group in the north that, the group in the north that Lily's group is fighting. That's a possibility. I'm not going to rule that out, but let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. I want to thank y'all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, again, make sure you smack a like, hit that sub, and
we are closing in, guys. Less than 4 weeks. Grind continues on, guys, and we'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace. I'm not